Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really happy to present this amazing work for all of you. Today's lesson is a free introduction to my series Length, Width, and Integrity. Um, and this incredible lesson is called the self hug. It's really, we have our arms over here around us in like a hug, but really soft. And we're just simply going to explore what it's like to roll to the right and to the left. Um, and the series will continue with exploring rolling in different ways. So, rolling your head, rolling your chin, and just rolling everything to the right and everything to the left. Um, and we will be exploring at the same time this foundational aspect of the work that I teach, at least, and the way that I teach it, which is that I truly believe that finding um, and going through movements rather than through a bunch of other ways, like through talking, for myself anyway, that I feel that it has so much potential that we leave out movement and moving in functional ways for preference of talking. And we don't relate our thoughts and our thinking to our movement. And Feldenkrais is a perfect way to do that because we really, in this work, challenge you to do the easiest you can and find the simplest movement, which does have really incredible effects on mental health and physical health, because in the end it's all the same. Anyway, so my new series starts next week on Sunday, and it's at 11 a.m. on Zoom in Montreal, New York Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, and so I hope to see you there. You can purchase a ticket on my website. It's $85 for 6 classes that'll go every single week on Sunday at 11 a.m. on Zoom. So enjoy. So awesome. A lot of people have their cameras. So thank you so much for that. It makes a great learning opportunity for me and also for you, because I can be able to teach you in the way that you need. So we're going to start on the back, and we're going to flip back and forth on the stomach sometimes and on the back. So just to introduce Feldenkrais a little bit, um, this work is about learning and about feeling and sensing what you're doing. So when I tell you to do a movement, when I ask you to do a movement, the way to do it is really slowly, really gently, really easy so that you can see what you're doing. And we always want in these classes, we always want to um, change the class to suit our own needs or your own need rather than the class, what the class is saying. So if at any point something is uncomfortable or you just don't want to do this particular movement, you don't have to. You are the boss, and I'm just creating the conditions for you to learn and for you to feel good in yourself. So, so today we're going to be doing self hug. I really, really love this lesson. So let's start on the back, and let's start with a nice scan. So, so on your back, start to sense what you feel. What's the contact like on the floor, particularly around your head. How do you feel the back of your head? And do you have a concept of what the back of your head feels like? Is it like a dot? Is it a space? Is it a situation? And from your head, what connects further? Like, what's the connection from your chest and your head? It's your neck and your spine. And can you feel the path? Can you feel, and can you I love to talk about the texture. Can you feel and imagine the texture of your spine? And where's the middle of you? Like if you had if you wanted to make like a dot, if you wanted to just put a dot somewhere, where would it be? Is it actually a little bit more to the right, a little bit more to the left? Is it more above your chest? Is it below? Is it on the top of the chest or the back? And how low is it? Is it like at your belly button, or are you thinking about it more towards your sternum or your neck? Like when I said middle, what does that mean for you? There's no right answer. There's just a middle. And what's the space between your shoulder blades? Like if you had a tool to measure, how far apart are they or how close are they? And what about where is your shoulder blade? What are your shoulder blades? And what do you consider your shoulder? What is a shoulder? It's not really a thing, right? It's more of an entity. It's several things. It's the whole girdle, the whole shoulder girdle, the connection around your chest from the front into the back, your collarbone. Everyone has a different idea, a different conception of what their shoulder blade or what their shoulders are. And what about your length from head to toe or from head to ankle? Is there a difference from each side? And what about the space on the floor of your back? What parts touch? What parts touch in the back and what parts don't? Is there a side in particular that touches more, maybe the right side? Maybe you feel your ribs on one side more than the other. Maybe you feel your pelvis a little bit more on one side. Like if you were like a kid and you were put yourself in some paint and then went on a blank piece of paper, you laid down, where would the marks be? Where would there be a lot of color and where would be less? So now bring your legs up to standing, your feet up to standing, just your legs, yeah. You stay lying on the floor, just your legs. And now cross your arms over each other like a hug, like you're hugging yourself. And do this in the most easy way, right? You can let your arms just lay on your chest. And if you can reach your shoulder blades on each side, you can reach them, but don't make everything uncomfortable, right? You need to still have an easy breath. You still need to be able to feel what you're doing. And in pain, we end up feeling pain. And then we end up learning pain, right? That's not fun. So instead, how can you make this position for you? You define the parameters of your position and have your feet standing in a way that is comfortable. See if you can just have them standing so that you don't really have to hold yourself up. Finding a comfortable position for you to be in. And now, really, really gently, without moving your pelvis, just start rocking a little bit. It's like you're using your hand a little bit to push one shoulder to one side, but without moving your legs and without moving your pelvis. So it's just your chest. So it's as if your legs are glued to the ceiling. And now you just gently move a little bit, just a little bit, even 1/10 of the movement that you're doing. But keep your legs on the floor. It's not the same lesson if you don't keep your legs on the floor. That's a different lesson. We have that lesson, but it's a different lesson. And if it's a hard movement for you, then how can you make it easy? I have this little rant about the difference between an easy lesson and a hard lesson in Feldenkrais. There's lessons that we consider hard, there's lessons that we consider easy, but can we try to consider every lesson as easy, but by making it easy for us, by making it easy for you, right? So don't do it fast and just gently roll a little bit one side, a little bit left. And if you notice that your pelvis is moving, then try to do it without, right? Try holding your pelvis. It's just we want to feel the sensation. Don't do it super fast, not super fast, not super fast. Slow, 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 slow. Slow, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself if you do it fast. Slow, that's right. That's nice. Slow or even. Right. You just want to feel. The point isn't to get the thing done. It's different. In gyms and in everything, the point is to succeed. The point is to do something to finish the task and get on with your day. In Feldenkrais, it's exactly the opposite. The less the less you try, the less desire to get it done, to work, the more you learn, the less is more in this work. Right. Now I see everyone, they're moving gently and slowly. That's really nice. That's really nice. And when you do this movement, just back and forth and take breaks in between if you need. Take breaks in between. Do you notice that your head moves? Don't change arms just yet. Keep the same arm. Want the same experience. If you need to stop, then stop. And make sure that your arms are not in the air. They're laying on your chest. And if that means that you don't reach your shoulder blades, you don't. For a lot of people, especially with folks who have shoulder blades that are more contracted, it's going to be a lot harder. And so just accept that it's going to be harder and see if you can make it easier. Not by trying. It's not like that you're going to make it easier. And that's a lesson worth many years. Right. Notice if your head tilts while you do this, just back and forth, really easy. Oh, just really easy. Don't tilt your head on purpose. Don't make your head go on purpose. Just notice. Because it's not actually going to move that much with this small movement, but you want to feel that there's just a little movement. And now do it a little quicker, but small. Quicker, but small. Super, super small, like as if you're moving a millimeter, but small. Right. That's it. That's it. You just want to feel. You just want to feel what parts of you are contacting more and less. Like when you go to the right, what parts do you contact the floor? And when you go to the left, what parts do you contact the floor? If you go fast, you can't really notice that. Or if you go big, rather, because we are going fast. But if you go big, we can't notice that. And now change over the configuration of your arms. That means that the top arm now comes to the bottom. And just notice immediately, is there a difference between the two? Maybe the other way is easier. Maybe the other way rests a little bit more on your chest. Maybe the other way is a little bit higher. What's the difference? And now the same thing, just start rolling your chest and try to keep your pelvis soft. Don't do it fast. Don't do it hard. Don't do it hard. Do it fast. Don't do it hard. Don't do it fast. Do it slow. And are you rolling to both directions? I see some people are only rolling to one direction, only rolling to the left. Are you also able to roll to the right? Rolling to both, not just a head. Rolling the whole there a little bit more, but don't move your head. Your head moves just with the chest. Just the movement of the chest moves the head, not your head moving your head. There. It's not your head moving your head. It's not your head moving your head. And now increase the speed a little bit, but make it smaller. Increase the speed, but make it smaller. And again, don't move your pelvis. Keep your pelvis, but it's not your head that's moving. Yeah, it's your chest. There you go. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And oof, I forgot. Are you breathing during this? Are you breathing? Maybe I wasn't breathing. What's in our head, what's in our imagination is also we replicate in ourselves and in our way, in our movements. So were you breathing? And now without moving your head, it's as if your nose is stuck to the ceiling and your eyes focus on one place on the ceiling and now just move your chest. So we're basically differentiating movement. It means that it's going to be smaller, right? It means it's going to be smaller. And see what are you doing? Are you rolling to both sides? I don't like to call out names in these public spheres, but this person with the green pants, see if you can roll to both sides. See if you can, because you're just rolling to one side. Doesn't mean go harder, doesn't mean go harder, doesn't mean go harder. Rolling to both sides. Okay, so now let your arms go and relax. Bring your legs down. You can bring your legs down if you want. Feel the contact with the floor. See if there's anything different. Doesn't need to be better, doesn't need to be positive, doesn't need to be negative, just different. You don't need to look at the camera. We want to try to use this hour to benefit you. Is there a difference in your contact with the floor, your back? Is there a difference in space? Not necessary. You don't have to notice a difference. Just notice what you notice instead. What are you noticing? What are you thinking about? Are you like, oof, this lesson is so hard? Then how can you make it easier? How can you be the decider of your happiness? You're in charge of your own happiness, your own ease. Maybe not all the time. Sometimes we need to do things, but in this hour right now, can you be in charge of your own ease? And now we're going to come back. So keep your legs like that and have put your two palms of your hands on your forehead and have your elbows on the floor. So it doesn't matter where your hands are, but your elbows are on the floor and you're holding your head. You're kind of like, what we want to do is make sure that the head doesn't move. So you can have it at any point, wherever, it just needs to hold the head. If it could be on the forehead, that's the best way you're going to feel if you're moving. If you can't make it all the way to your forehead, don't. It's really not necessary. And now just gently, gently feel the rolling of your pelvis. Roll your pelvis a little bit. Roll to one side, roll to the other. Make sure you breathe at the same time. Make sure you're breathing. Your legs are down. Your legs are down at this moment. If you don't want to put your legs down, that's fine, if that's your choice. But we just want to feel a moment, just a moment with your legs down so you can feel the movement of your hip joints. Is there one side that you're moving to and one side that you're not? Are you able to roll to both sides? You roll to the left and then you roll to the right. You use your other pelvis. That's it. You use your other pelvis and you breathe is your breathing connected? Is your breathing connected to the movement or is it not? Just a question. Doesn't have to be, you might find it easier if your breathing is not connected. Might, what does that tell you? It could tell you a lot about the way that you move through the world. These lessons, these classes are a moment to just find out what you do it's like you take your everyday movement, but you take 1 second of it and you turn it into an hour and you see how every single piece goes, every single piece works. And do you feel your head moving a little bit? Can you try to focus to let it not move? Can you let any part go? And now, if you can increase the speed, but also the simplicity, make it easier. Make it easier. That's right. Just nice rolling. It's almost like a dancing. It's almost like you're just, as if you're just a little baby and you're dancing. Woo, doo, 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 doo. Yeah. But see again, are you just rolling to one side? Are you just rolling to one side? There you go. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. And breathe, breathe, breathe. See if your breathing is connected to one hip joint going up or one hip joint going down. The inhalation, the exhalation, is it related? Just fast. Do, 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 like that. Like beats like that. Do, 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 do. There you go. That's nice. And now you can see if you go smaller and slower that you do actually move in both directions. So why aren't you able to do that for a bigger movement? A bigger and slower movement? Don't lift up your knees. Yeah, I don't know. You don't lift up your knees. It's just your hip joints. Yeah. Okay. Let that go. Let that go. And now, yeah, bring your arms down. Take a little moment. Again, do you feel a wider space in your pelvis, more contact on the floor, a difference? What do you notice? What do you feel? Do you have more of an idea? What's the texture like? Oh, when I think about the texture of my ribs, I think about the bones. I think about a skeleton, my whole skeleton. It feels so good. The texture is beautiful. The skeletons, they're used as Halloween things. I really don't like that. They're scary, they're negative. Our skeletons are beautiful and they're actually what support us. They're what support us. They're the structure that supports the whole body. The muscles, they do a lot of work, but they do movement. The skeleton, it holds us, supports us. Yeah. And now bring your hands back to hold your forehead, your palms on your forehead. Lift up your knees, bring them standing. And now roll your pelvis like this. Now you can roll your knees and see where, again, just easy, 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 easy. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Slow, slow at first, slow at first, slow at first. Slow, 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 slow. Slow and even small. Yeah. Do you notice, do you push with one foot? Or do you just let them fall? Do you push with one foot to turn your pelvis, or can you just let them fall? Just letting them fall. And do you feel that rolling sensation? Does doing it like this clarify anything? Maybe it clarifies a little bit of the movement of your right hip joint. You move easy to the left, but to the right, less. But maybe it clarifies something. Yeah, you let your knee come down, everything like that. And you feel the turning to the right. That's nice. You can go a lot to the left. Then just see how what you can do to the right. There you go. And now do it faster, but smaller. Small, 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 small. What's small? What's small? What's small? A mouse is small. An elephant is big, right? A mouse is small. No, you don't have to go all the way to the floor. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. Even if you can, even if you can. If you want to, you do it. You do what you do. You're in charge of your own life. Okay, now stop moving the knees and try just so your knees are stuck to the ceiling and just your pelvis. Your knees are glued to the ceiling. They're glued. They're glued. They're glued. Yeah, there you go. That's nice. It's really just a movement. It's just showing you what your hip joints can do. What can your hip joints do? What is the power of your hip joints? They can do a lot there. But you're not side bending. It's not side bending, it's rolling. It's not side bending. There you go. There you go. Yeah. It's not side bending. The side bending is making one side longer and one side shorter. You don't want to do that. You're rolling. We're rolling. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Just rolling. There you go. And do it fast. Do it fast. Fast, fast, fast. Fast, small, fast, small. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. And then now bring in your knees again. And you can do a bigger movement. Notice if it's easier. But don't take an anxiety. Don't take an anxiety rush. No rush. Stress, rush doesn't mean fast. This world that makes us work, 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 it tries to tell us that work needs to be stressful. Work, moving, stressful, fast, but it's not true. Fast can be calm, can be conscious, can be easy. Can you do that? That's your path. I'm giving you the option, and you decide. Yeah, notice if your head is rolling. Does it need to roll? And notice again if you're only going to one side. There you go. Yeah. You really want to go to that side. But you have that other option. You have the option to go to the other side. Okay, put your legs down. Put your legs down and rest. Oh, oh. How do you feel? Put your arms down too. Bring everything down. Yeah, bring everything down. How is that? Do you feel bigger? Big is good. Big is not bad. Fat is good. Thick is good. Juice is good. Round is good. Belly is good. Belly is beautiful. You feel a bigger space. It's time to do these pauses. They're a little check-in. What's going on? Do you feel your head in a different way? You feel your hip joints, your pelvis in a different way, your back, the lower back. So now come onto your belly. Come onto your belly and put your right hand on the floor. The palm goes onto the forehead and the left hand behind your head. And in essence, this is another way to hold your head. If you have trouble on the belly, my suggestion is to do it in your imagination. Imagine yourself being on the belly. That is just going to start that process. Yeah, so your right hand on the floor, palm on your forehead, left hand behind your head, and then lift your left elbow up and roll your head. Use your left arm to roll your head. Try to have your hand flat on your head. And do this. This might be really hard for some people. Oh, if you notice, it's just like, oh my God, I'm not breathing. I'm holding in my stomach. Oh my God. If that's the sound that you would make if you were talk, then you know you need to go smaller, take more breaks. You are responsible for your happiness. And I want to see you feel good. I want to see you feel good. So do small, small, small movements. Take a lot of breaks. If you can have a flat hand on your head, then you do that. If it's a little rounded, that's okay as well. Just imagine yourself on your belly as well is really nice. Just imagining what could it be like to be on my belly? What could it feel like? Where would the pressure touch on my belly? Where would it come into contact on my chest? Where does it come? What position would your head be in on your belly? After you did this a little bit, change over your hands. So the top hand goes on the bottom, bottom on the top. Then lift up your other elbow and roll your head. Just gently roll your head. It's a different than the other way. Is there a difference? There's definitely going to be a difference. And if you do it quietly and you listen, you listen, you listen, you listen, this stuff works because you listen. You listen to what you're doing. And when you listen, there's a famous quote of Moshe Feldenkrais, who's the person who kind of started this work. When you know what you're doing, you can do what you want. And listen, I really feel that. When you know what you're doing, you can do what you want. So when you know that you're doing pain, then you're going to keep doing pain. But if you know that something can be easy, you'll keep doing something easy. It's as simple as that. It's elusive, but it's obvious as well. It's so obvious. We all want to do things easier, but how and what to let go and all of that stuff, that's where it's hard. And now place your forehead on the floor, your hands, both hands behind your head, so that they hold your head. And gently, gently start to roll your pelvis. So you're holding your head doesn't move, and you roll your pelvis. Not fast, not fast. We're doing one round slow. And you want to notice what parts touch your thigh. Does your side come into contact with the floor a little bit more? Does your right side come into contact a little bit more? Does your left side come into contact? Which side is easier to go to? Does one happen more than the other? What parts do you have to engage to move yourself? And try to keep your head still so we can differentiate the movement. Differentiate the movement. So your head, it's as if it's glued to the floor. It's as if it's glued. Your eyes are fixed at one point, they don't move. Yeah, and you just move your pelvis. And now do it fast, fast and small. Fast and small. Yeah, like you're a baby. Like you're a baby, and you're like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like you're a baby. And you just want to move your pelvis. You're like, oh, yes. You just want to move your pelvis. And this is how babies learn. This is what they do. When they are born, we leave them on the floor a little bit, and they learn. They learn by making mistakes, the dangerous word, mistakes. The so dangerous word, we can't make any mistakes. Okay, come and rest on your back. Come and rest on your back. Oh, how does it feel to be on your back now? Do you sense a difference? You sense a difference in contact with the floor. Maybe the way that your pelvis is contacting the floor, your lower back. Is there a deliciousness? Oh, so delicious. You have a texture to your whole body, to your skeleton. So delicious. Why do ducks have feathers? To cover their duck quacks. Mm. I love telling jokes in my sessions because if we take this so seriously, we're not having fun. And you know what's the best way to learn? By having fun, by enjoying the process. It's not so serious. Oh my God, I need to get this. let's have fun with it. So now bring your feet up to standing. And put your hands on each side of your pelvis, just so they lay there. Yeah. And then, yeah, kind of like on top of your hip joint, like on both, like on the top, not underneath, on top. Yeah, there you go. And now, and bring your feet closer to your pelvis so that you can lift up your pelvis just a little bit. You don't want to do any kind of crunching, no holding the breath, none of that gym stuff. And just gently start rolling your pelvis from side to side. And as if almost like you're rolling your pelvis that's attached onto your spine. You can imagine that you're just rolling your pelvis. That's that's and it's turning around your spine. Your pelvis is turning around your spine. And try to keep your knees in place. It's not about moving your knees. Not about moving your knees so much. And your hands, they can help you figure out, are you going the same distance between each side? Do you go the distance from each side? You don't have to do it so big. You don't have to do it so big. Yeah. The times actually that I've given up and I've done the least are the times that I've gotten up and felt the best. How is that possible? And now quick. There you go. Yeah. Smaller, 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 smaller. It's really just imagine as if you have like like you have like a little toy that's on a stick, like a little round toy on a stick, and you just wanted to keep the stick still, but you want to roll the toy, right? You wanted to spin the toy, right, right, right. That's it. That's it. That's nice. And again, you have your hands there, right? We put them there for a reason. It's to feel, does it go the same way? And are you breathing? Oh my God, are you breathing? Oh my God, you're breathing. What kinds of shorts do clouds wear? Thunder pants. How do you measure a snake? In inches. They don't have feet. What does a house wear? An address. Can you laugh? Can you make a silly noise? Make a silly noise. Make a silly noise. Like bloop, 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 bloop. Make yourself laugh. Serious. Why so serious? Why so serious? Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Jessica gave me a really great joke before. Now I've lost it. Where is it? Oh, how do you make a tissue dance? You put a boogie in it. uh, okay, come down. Come down. Let your arms down, your legs. Is rolling the pelvis, has it made a little difference in your contact with the floor? What about your neck? Maybe your neck, you can feel it a little bit more. Your shoulder blades. Maybe you even have an idea about the whole, um, your whole, uh, uh, all your vertebrae, your whole spine. There we go. I've been switching French and English every single day. I was like, le colon vertébral, colonne vertébrale. I've been saying colon vertébral. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are how you learn. Okay, so now lift your head and your right hand goes behind your head, your left hand on your forehead. And now just roll the head with your right hand on your head. Lift it up a little bit. Make sure that you're breathing. Don't go too far. Don't hurt yourself. I really don't want you to hurt yourself. And you really don't want to hurt yourself. But do it slow. Do it slow. Do it slow, 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 slow. It's not, you're not going to do anything doing it fast with like a need to do things. This all this Feldenkrais stuff, it's about the joy of learning, right? Is it easy to roll your head like that? Is it easy? One hand on your forehead, right hand on right hand behind your head, left hand on your forehead, right? And now you just roll your head. Not super fast, not super fast. Pas vite, pas vite, pas vite. Petit, doucement, lentement. Lentement. Like as if it's like the same speed as as this word. Lentement. That's right. That's how fast. That's how fast you go. Okay, now switch hands. And then immediately notice, is there a difference? Are you able to do this more or less? Does it go farther? Does it go not as far? Yeah, that's nice. Notice if your elbow does the whole movement with you. It stops at a certain place. If you go slow, you can notice that. That's right. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. You noticed. Yeah. And that change is something. Is there something that you can let go, a part, something that you can calm, something that can be quiet, something that doesn't have to move? What do you do with your eyes when you turn your head, when you roll? What do you do with your eyes? Do you look away? Yeah. Okay. Let that go. A little second. Little second. Do you notice a pattern about what we're doing here? We're rolling different places. We started with one thing, and then we rolled this. We tried to keep everything else still. We rolled that, tried to keep everything else still. And now come onto the belly. And when I was a student, every time my teacher said, let's go onto the belly, you could hear the whole class going, oh, and then we'd laugh all together. Why? Okay, so on the belly, now do the same thing that you did on your back. Lift the head, and then the right hand on the forehead, left hand behind, and keep the elbows lifted. And roll the head. Yeah, that's nice. Small. You want to feel the movement, not fast. We're doing slow first. And do your cheeks move with you? Does your jaw move? Does your chin? What's the difference in direction between your chin and your forehead? Does your forehead go one way and your chin go the other way? Isn't that interesting? Because they can do different things, right? When your chin goes one way and your forehead goes the other way, you're side bending. You're not rolling. When you're rolling, everything comes together. So, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. And now switch arms, switch hands. Try to keep the elbows above as well. See if you can keep the elbows in the air. If you can't, then you do it little by little. And then again, automatically, what do you feel the difference is between the sides? Does one side, does one side go more than the other? Is there a difference between the forehead and the chin? They go in different directions. Can you try to bring your forehead and your chin in the same direction? Make sure you breathe. Oh, make sure you breathe. Please breathe. Right. Yeah, I like to see people taking breaks. Good job. Gold star. Yeah. Gold star. Okay, rest. Rest on your stomach if you can. We're going to come back to the stomach. Yeah. Hmm. How are you feeling so far? Do your breathing. This point, I always get emotional. I love seeing people do this stuff. It energizes me. I was very tired before this, but seeing people moving in a way that makes them feel good, it energizes me. Okay, so still on the stomach. Now your forehead is on the floor. Your forehead's on the floor. Your palms are on your head, and the elbows stay on the floor. So you're holding your head. If you crisscross your arms, your fingers, it takes a little bit more work. So don't crisscross them. Just lay them on top of each other. Yeah. And now roll the pelvis. Roll the pelvis a little bit with your legs long. Again, notice what sides you go to, what sides you don't. What parts are you using to move yourself, right? What parts are you using to move yourself? You lift up one hip joint, you lift up the other hip joint, or do you not lift up the other hip joint? If you go slow, si tu le fais lentement, si tu le fais lentement, 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 slow, 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 slow is the way to go. Slow, 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 slow. If you go slow, you notice what you do. And when you notice what you do, you can do what you want. That's nice. Slow, 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 slow. Notice if both, it's like you're doing the same thing as before when you're on your back, right? You're rolling your pelvis, you're turning it as it's on your spine. It's turning along your spine like a stick and something on top of it, right? And you just want it to roll the pelvis, not the spine. No, well, the spine's it's gonna go, but you want to think about your hip joints moving and everything. And now fast, do 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 do, fast and small, but not stressful. Fast, small, relaxed. Fast, small, relaxed. Ooh, happy, 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 happy baby, happy baby. Goo 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 goo. Make some noises. Make some noises. Goo 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 goo. Blah, 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 blah. Rah, rah. Eh. Maybe the different noises will have different, bring up different things in you. Maybe I realize that it kind of contracts my stomach, and makes it harder. Okay, okay, let that go. Come onto your back. Oh no, wait, no, no, don't. No, 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 sorry. Lift up your leg, lift up your knees, lift up your feet, bend your knees. Yeah, there you go. Now do it like this. And your feet can come, your legs can come down to the floor if you want. As much as is comfortable. When it starts to feel sticky, not fast, not fast, not fast, not fast. Slow, 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 slow. Slow, 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 not fast, not fast, not fast. There you go. Going slow is the way to go. You notice what you're doing. If you do fast, try doing fast. What do you notice? What do you notice when you go fast? You notice that you start to have pain because you're doing it stressed. You want to succeed. You want to impress. You want to win. The best student is the one who takes care of themselves. The best student does this for themselves. And you get a gold star for doing this easy, doing it simply. There, nice. And now you can do it fast. Now do it fast. But don't contract. Don't contract your heels. Don't contract your toes. Where can you let it be easy? But make sure it's not your feet that are doing the movement, right? I'm at the point when I want to call out people. Nika, make sure that you're not using your feet. You're using your hip joints. Right now, you're turning with your feet. Your feet are doing all the movement. It needs to be your hip. So make it smaller. Make it smaller and feel the turning of the hip, the turning of your hip joints. There you go. And now your feet, they're not moving so much. They're moving with the movement. They're not doing the movement. That's the difference. You want to use the big muscles, the muscles that support you. If you're using the small muscles of the feet, oh, it's tiring. Listen, it's tiring. There, that's nice. And then if you go small and fast, you can feel it even more. But you have to listen. You feel one thigh touches, the other side touches. One thigh touches the other side. Okay, now come onto your back and rest. On your back, what do you sense? The first thing, maybe you feel yourself more on the floor. Oh, you're rubbing your eyes. Babies do that too. Yeah. Quiet and relaxed mood. But you're still doing things, right? You're still moving, but you can have a quietness to you. That's nice. And now bend your knees, bring your 2 feet standing. And now do something that we call translate. It means that you take one thing and you move it directly to the side. You don't move it down, you don't turn it, you don't twist it, you move it directly to the side. That's what translate means. It's like picking up your cell phone and bringing it into another place. So bring your feet close to your pelvis and lift up your pelvis. And now translate your pelvis. Don't have your hands on you because that's extra weight. Yeah. Translate your pelvis to the right. So just move it to the left. Yeah, that's right. But don't bend it. And then just move it back. And then move it to the right. And see if you can keep your knees where they are, right? It's not your knees, it's your pelvis. Yeah, your knees are staying in place. They're connected to the floor. And you just want to translate. It just means bringing it to the side. It's like if you're picking up your phone, when you pick up your phone, you don't twist it a little. You don't bring one side closer. You keep it flat, and then you just translate it. No twisting, no twisting. You just translate. And that's actually getting the upper vertebrae. That's calling in the upper vertebra. That's right. Yeah. Calling in the upper vertebra. And at any point you need to rest, right? Make sure that you're still breathing. You're still breathing. You're still breathing. You're still breathing. You need some jokes? Let me find another one. What do you get from a pampered cow? Spoiled milk. um, why doesn't Dracula have any friends? Well, honestly, he's a real pain in the neck. These are not the funniest. I think it's pretty funny that I'm not reading funny jokes to make you laugh. Maybe that can make you laugh. Right, not so serious. And now increase the movement. Make it faster. Translate, not roll. Translate, bring it to the right, bring it back, bring it to the left, bring it back, bring it to the right, bring it back, bring it to the left, but small, right? Small. And don't use your knees. It's not your knees. If you use your knees, that might be how you're walking right now with your knees, right? But you want to get used to walking with your pelvis, right? In our society, we do so much sitting, we forget that we have hip joints. We forget about our hip joints. Yeah. No, but it's not bringing them up. It's not bringing them up. It's bringing them to the side. Bringing them to the side. It's not bringing them up. If you're rolling your pelvis, you're not doing it. You're translating it. Imagine put your pelvis down and imagine that you're picking up your phone and you're bringing it to the left and you're putting it back down. What's that movement? That's what I want you to do with your pelvis, right? You're picking up your phone. Do you bend your phone when you bring it to another spot? Let's say it's like close to the edge of the table and you're like, oh, it's too close. I don't want it to break. So you pick up your phone and then you move your hand, you move your whole arm, and then you put it back down. That's the movement. There's no twisting. It's just a different movement. But do you understand the movement? So now try again. What is it like? Yeah. And if you find yourself still rolling, do a smaller movement. You can translate within a millimeter, even less. But it's still a translation. It's still, and think about how you need to engage, not engage, but you need to think about your your spine. Your spine. There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Make sure it's not twisting though. Even just a little part. Yeah. Okay. Come back down. Okay. So now come onto your stomach. Not the stomach again. Okay. Now on the stomach, your hands behind your head so that your elbows on the floor. Same thing. You're holding your head. You don't want it to move. Your forehead's on the floor. Yeah. And then bring your knees up, bend them, and attach them together. So your knees are together, your feet are together, there's a rope around them, they're not going anywhere. And now roll your pelvis. Your feet stay together, your knees stay together the whole time. And it's a small movement at the beginning so that you can really get used to using your hip joints. Using your hip joints, right? Why is it so small now? Because you can't use your legs. You can't use your feet. Right. So you have no other choice but to engage your hip joints. Yeah. And at first, don't do it so fast. Don't do it so fast. Do it slow and feel that second you get the beautiful touch of the floor. And then and where exactly it's touching the floor. Can you feel that your whole thigh is just flat? It's like just a bag of goop that's just block, it just comes onto the floor. There's no muscles. Where can you let go? What can you let relax? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just your hip joints. And now go faster, but don't use your legs and don't use speed. Don't gather speed and do everything. What you want to do is learn how to use your hip joints. That's nice. I see everybody really doing number one what they can, and number two the smallest, so that they can learn. You're prioritizing your learning. Congratulations. That is something. That is something. And now do it fast. Boop, boop, boop. And just the hip joints. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, you are going to be walking so great after this. Let me tell you. Oh, that's exciting. Woo. Oh, okay. Come onto your back. So much turning in one lesson. Can you believe it? Oh, on your back again. How do you feel? How do you feel? What's the space like? What's the space like? Oh, you just feel wide in your hip joints, your chest, your shoulder blades, maybe. And guess what? We're coming back to hugging yourself. So if you're ready, yeah. And now you're whichever way you want to do it, whichever first way you wanted to do it, and just roll to the right, roll to the left. What's different? What's different about this now? Maybe you have more respect for yourself, for your limits. Feldenkrais is all about respecting our limits. I've really learned that. Once I feel like I can't do something, I don't do it. It's a no from me, hun. Yeah, there you go. Now, does your head come along for the ride? Let your head come along for the ride. Your eyes. There you go. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And now actually go the opposite. So your arms go to the right. No, no, no. Keep the same configuration. Same configuration. But now your arms come to the right. You roll to the right, but your head goes to the left. Oh yeah. What? What? That's called differentiation. Yeah. Yeah. And now come all to the right. See if that helps. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Amazing. Yeah. And look all the way to the right. Look all the way to the right. There you go. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah. There you go. And now switch over your hands. Now go to the left. And now you learned something from there. And can you apply it to this side? And then what we just did, we call it differentiation. So now differentiate the other side. So you go to the left, but your eyes look to the right. Your head comes to the right. Oh, don't look at the camera. Don't look at the screen. Yeah, but don't stay there. Come back slowly, come back to the center slowly, and then go back. And now come all together. See if that helped. There you go. Nice. And now bring your legs up, bring your knees up, and keep doing it from side to side. See how that is. There you go. And now everything is coming together, right? Maybe you didn't solve all your problems, but everything's coming together. Okay. And now just let that go. Can lie down for a second. And then when you are done, you're ready, just slowly, slowly, respectfully. If you come up and you get into action, you're going to let everything that you learned go. But if you come up slowly, you feel, you roll to sitting, you come up to standing. Ooh, come up standing. Don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. The screen is just nothing. Walk around, walk around. Feel how tall you are. Feel if you walk differently, if you feel different. Yeah. If you feel your hip joints, if you're breathing differently, you can let your arms just be relaxed. Hmm.